Lovell. Thank you so much for joining the show.
I'm so excited to chat with you today, Gabriella.
I am so pumped to talk to you, especially because I'll ask you this in a second, but with the type of vendor that you and I are, we really only communicate through social media, not really on wedding days or with weddings. So this will be really fun chat. So to begin, can you tell the listeners your name, your business, and which areas you serve?
Yes, I'm Lovell. I'm the owner and designer behind Lovellfaye. We are a bridal design studio that specializes in redesigning heirloom wedding dresses. So what we usually do is we're taking a mother's, a grandmother's wedding dress and redesigning it for brides' rehearsal, reception. Sometimes they want to use it for ceremony, and also we can turn heirloom wedding dresses into accessories now.
That's amazing. And where are you based?
We're based in New York City. The studio's in the New York City Garment District.
Amazing. Do you primarily serve couples in New York City or do people kind of come in from around the East Coast?
Majority tri-state area, I would say, but I also do have brides that fly in across the country that want me to redesign their mother's wedding dress.
That's super cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have to know, how did you get into this? Because it's so niche, but so cool.
Well, I have to say it's been quite the journey, as I feel like a lot of wedding vendors are. So basically, I had originally moved up to New York City after college before COVID. And that's when I interned under Haley Page, and that's when I knew like I wanted to be in the bridal industry. Fast forward 8 months, I moved back home to Dallas because of COVID. And then I decided to get a job at a bridal boutique. On the side, I was also custom designing dresses for family friends, mother of the bride, ceremony dresses for brides, rehearsal, reception, all the things. And then I had two family friends come to me with their mother's dress. I was also like taking on side projects. And they're like, I want to utilize my mom's dress, but I just don't know how to or like what I want to do with the dress. And I was like, oh, this is exactly, I can totally do these projects because I was making custom dresses. I was making everything from scratch with the patterns, the lace, doing all the sourcing. But for this, it was very much like, we're already taking the existing dress, we're taking all the materials, and we're just redesigning it. So I created this full process as far as like we would do a sketch first of like the ideas they were thinking of what they wanted to do with the redesigns, and then basically I recorded the full process. I posted them on social media and they just went viral and caught the wedding industry by storm. It was the craziest summer of my life. I mean, just like every wedding industry Instagram you can think of was like reposting this idea because they just thought it was so cool, like taking your mom's dress and just making it your own.
Yeah, it is a really cool idea. I was like shocked when Sarah told me about how you did that for her. We met each other through one of the brides that I photographed. She took her mom's wedding dress to you and said, I want to wear this on my wedding weekend. And then you helped to redesign it into a rehearsal dinner dress.
Yes, Sarah's dress was so cute. It was also a Priscilla Boston dress, which I now know like so much history behind like all the heirloom dresses I work with. And there were so many beautiful details about the dress that we got to incorporate into the redesign, which I loved.
Yes, wasn't like the entire top half of the dress like untouched?
Yeah, so, and it fit like pretty well too. So the top we kept the same, we kept the integrity of it, and then we just remade the full skirt out of the existing fabric. Actually, the lining that was under the dress, it was like an opaque fabric, and I pleated it on top of the actual fabric, and it gave this like very cool illusion and design with the skirt. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was really, really pretty. I had no idea that that was like the lining of the dress that like formed the pleating pattern on the skirt.
Yeah, well, and the Priscilla Boston, which I discovered this through her dress, the trim says Priscilla in it. And we were discovering that when we were redesigning it. And so we brought that lace trim back up into the pleats too, which was really cool.
No way. That's so
Yeah.
cool. Wow, that's amazing. I bet you've like come across so many really, really cool, like iconic designers through doing this whole redesign business.
Yes, I have for sure. I feel like I take a history lesson every time.
That's amazing. So you moved back to New York City. I'm understanding now
Yes,
because
I
you're
did.
based there.
Yeah.
Amazing. How long have you been in New York for?
So I just completed 2 years. Recently new. Yeah. So I would say, I mean, as I'm sure you know, moving a whole business to a new state is one job in itself, but I knew that I wanted to move back to New York City. I mean, it's the city of dreams, like everything happens here. So I've just like loved every aspect of being back.
That's amazing. I had no idea that you started this business kind of around COVID times. Um,
Yeah.
I did the same with my business, and I feel like a lot of people in the industry around like late 20s, early 30s kind of had the same experience where it was like had these big dreams post college and then COVID just like kind of shut everything down. But ended up like being a very good thing to come out of it because like I feel like the wedding industry was like it took a huge pause for COVID because obviously huge gatherings couldn't happen. And then as soon as it was like safe to do so again, it was like full steam ahead. Wedding vendors, prepare yourselves. Like we need as many people to like be in this industry as possible to meet the demand. Um,
Yes.
so
Totally
it's
agree.
yeah, so it like people are very confused when they hear that COVID was like when a lot of people started their wedding industry businesses, but really like that was kind of like a great time to get in. So
Yeah,
it's cool to hear
exactly.
that that's when you started too. So you're like growing like wildflower because it's been so recent.
Yeah, I mean, it's only been 2 years in New York, and I've already moved studios twice because I've needed more space. So, yeah, it's been
Wow.
really fun.
Amazing. Okay, so I know that you redesigned wedding dresses into like new dresses. You also said that you do accessories too. When did that start?
So it actually came out of because a lot of brides would, they redesign their mom's dress. They have all this extra fabric. And so they're like, I still want to utilize the fabric. Is there any way like you could make a pocket square, a clutch, something for me to give a gift for my mom, dad, sister, whoever they're wanting to gift a gift to out of the dress because obviously the dress has like so much sentimental value to them. And then I just started making a lot of like different prototypes of purses, headbands. Anytime I know Sarah's like, we did scrunchies. So there's just so many things that brides also come to me with that like, is there any way like you could make this out of the mom's wedding dress? I'm like, yes, of course. So that's really how the accessory list started. Now I have a standard accessory list. So brides will come to me and I know it's like so much easier for a bride to see something like already made and being like, oh my gosh, wait, you do clutches? Like, I'd love a clutch too for my sister or my mom or whoever. But yeah, that's how the accessories started. And now brides will reach out to me. They don't even have to live in the tri state area. They can ship me their mom's dress and then we can talk virtually about the design of the accessories, which has been great.
That's so cool. And you're so right. It does definitely help to see things like physically to know that it's possible to make instead of conceptualizing it from scratch in your head.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, what is like the process? You said some people come into your studio, some people ship in their dress. What's like the Spark Notes process of a bride working with you?
So first you fill out my inquiry form and then we send you an email about process and pricing and you can book a call, a virtual design consultation call either for accessories or for heirloom redesign of the existing if you want it as like a garment. And then we hop on a 30-minute call and we go over, like exact ideas of like what you're thinking. I have questions I ask the brides to kind of get them an idea and understanding of, what's possible and what their favorite part of the dress is that they want to highlight. Sometimes they fully want to honor the integrity of the dress. Other times it's like, I just want to make my own custom dress and like utilize the fabric and lace, which is either way, obviously, like I love to do. And then after the call, then I send them a follow-up email with price range and then a link to purchase sketches. Once they purchase the sketches, then I do 3 ideas over what we talked about during the call to give them a idea of a visual of like what it could look like, because we need a starting point to go off of. And then if they decide I want to move forward with the project, then you're signed on as a client with deposit and contract once I get those. And then we schedule 3 in-person fittings. I require 3 fittings just because in my studio, since fit is something like I'm particular about. And I also think the process is evolving, right? So first fitting, you come in, you bring the dress, we go over the exact ideas. Like for instance, one bride might want a different silhouette. They know they want to make the dress short, but they don't know if they want more of like a gathered skirt or a fitted like a fitted short above the knee skirt. So depending on the bride and what they want to do with the dress, the process changes. But like for instance, if the bride knows they want to make the dress short and they want a new silhouette of skirt, I divide the bodice and the skirt and they get to try on sample skirts that I have. So you get an idea of like what the redesign will look like before I actually ever cut into the dress and make the new skirt out of the original fabric. So, and then by the 3rd fitting, it should be done. And yeah, it's your redesign. And then that's also when around the 2nd fitting, they'll be like, wait, can we make accessories too? And I'm like, yes, like let's make all the accessories out of the extra fabric. And then I also like to tell all brides that if they, any of the extra fabric we do have, that they get it back. I get that question a lot. So yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, I bet it is cool to see that 2nd fitting, like after the dress has been like cut and like designed, to see the extra fabric there and be like, let's put this to use
what
somehow.
else ideas? Yeah.
That's amazing. That's very cool. And it just shows like how customized the process is too, to have all those fittings and all the sketches to choose from. It's a really cool process that you've like designed for people to go through and make sure that they are like fully set on what they want to do before anything is done to the dress, because it is so special.
Yes. It's a very, cherished dress that has been kept for 30 plus years. And it's funny because like I always ask the moms that come to the fittings, I'm always like, so why'd you keep it? Like what were you thinking when you were after you got married, like what you want to do with your wedding dress? And like, well, I guess I kept it because, everyone else was preserving it. It was just a thing to do. Or I guess like one day if my children ever wanted to utilize it, like they could. And then it's very much like we're having that moment. I'm like, and here we are having this moment of them utilizing the dress, which is always like very special.
Yeah, I bet it's like it's so special for the bride to be able to use an heirloom dress. And then it's special for her mom or grandma to have that dress like put to use again, because when you preserve a wedding dress, you kind of hope for it never to be used. You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, wedding once and done, great, let's preserve this thing. But then you know that like down the line, somebody else, like your child or grandchild, could use part of that dress. Is just so cool.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So, what is like one of the most common redesigns you do for like dresses for brides? And then one of the most like unique things you've done?
So most common it's definitely they want to utilize the dress for rehearsal dinner. So usually what we're doing is we're cutting off the train of the dress and then we're putting a new silhouette of the skirt. And then actually right now I work with a lot of 80s and 90s wedding dresses. So if you know the 80s, 90s era, it was full puff sleeves, fully beaded lace, all the things. So we're usually taking down the puff sleeves or removing the sleeves altogether. But yeah, that's like one of the most common things I do right now. And then I would say the most unique, let me think. The custom dresses are also really fun out of the moms, just because we are I mean, essentially like upcycling a full new dress and utilizing like the same lace and just designing it differently, which I always love. Like one of my favorite design details would always be lace placement. So, yeah.
What is lace placement?
So it's kind of like how the lace is designed on the garment. So for instance, like a lot of the 80s and 90s dresses, the lace is placed just on the bodice. Like they'll do a certain design on how it's placed on the bodice. When I was doing custom, actually, I had a lace vendor that they, get all their lace from France. And it's really fun because she'll see my pictures that I post from the heirloom dresses and she'll be like, oh yeah, we can still like order that lace from 40 years ago, but we just design it differently. So we're like placing it differently on the dress in a more modern way. Actually, so I custom designed my cousin's wedding dress almost 3 years ago. I see the same lace on the heirloom dresses and I have memorized the pattern of it. So when I see it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's lace 451 or whatever the number is. And it's just like, oh my God, this is like so crazy. Like that they're still utilizing the same types of lace.
That's so cool. So like
Yeah.
the lace patterns, I guess, like the way the lace is put together doesn't really change. It's just where the lace is placed and how it's on the dress.
Yeah.
That
How
changes
the
with the
designers,
style.
yeah, how the designer is designing with the lace.
Very interesting. That is really cool. So I bet that makes it like super duper possible then to take an heirloom dress and completely take it apart and just put it back together differently.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. So that's how like a totally custom dress is made just from the fabric of an heirloom dress.
Yep.
Wow. Amazing. I honestly had no idea that that was possible. Like all I knew for redesigns was like, oh, let's like, keep part of the dress intact but change something about it to like make it personal to me. But I didn't know it could be like a whole new dress.
Well, because also I've had brides come to me and their mom's dress is very damaged, but they still want to
Mm.
utilize it. So there was one where the lace was ripping apart, and so, well, like the tool that the lace was made out of, and so I essentially like took all of the lace off, and then we strengthened it, and then essentially made a whole new silhouette from the fabric. But yeah, and I've also have gotten dresses from the 50s that were their grandmothers that they want to utilize that's been sitting in their closet for all these years, and we'll clean them and they're just really bringing them back to life.
That's amazing. I actually was able to see my grandma's wedding dress. She
Yeah.
preserved it. She is like such a small little lady. And she was still a small little lady when she got married. And she got married in January. So her dress was like these really thick, long sleeves. And like it looked like it was like had not been touched since the 50s.
Uh-huh.
But it was so cool to see that like throughout the years, like there's still been like that really high quality silk on wedding dresses, some lacing, some beading, like the design, I guess details have stayed similar. They've just been like placed differently throughout the
Well, and
years.
I'll say the even like 40s. I worked with a 1947 wedding dress. That's the oldest wedding dress I've worked with. But the 40s, 50s, and 60s are the styling then was very or the what am I trying to say? Like the
The designs?
no, like this I guess the style. Like the style is very similar to right now. So we're
Interesting.
really not doing much to some of them. Like they're very modern and
Yeah.
it's simple. Yeah.
Simple is a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her dress was much simpler. There were some lace, some beading, but it was mostly just like high quality silk, or silky material. I don't know if it was actually a silk. And then my mom's wedding dress, she got married in the 90s, was like flowers and lace and fake diamond beads and like all this stuff and the big poofy sleeves. And so it's kind of like sounds like we started simple, we got crazy, we're back to simple. So I wonder in like a generation are gonna be like super crazy again.
Well, and that's what I wonder, because I feel like some of the 80s and 90s are coming back now. Like, I am seeing some of puff sleeves, like, back into the wedding dresses and stuff, so in the drop waist. So I am so curious in 20, 30 years what the style of wedding dresses is gonna be.
Yeah, I love the drop waist trend right now. I think it's so elegant and so flattering. And I have seen like uh not only puff sleeves, but separate like arm sleeve attachments that aren't even attached to the bottoms of the dress that give like the effect of a puff sleeve, but you're not like chained, your arms aren't chained to your sides, then you can like go put your hands all the way up and then like have no restriction. So it is cool. I have noticed that, and I think they're all so fun.
Yeah, no, I love all the different styles now for sure.
Do you have a favorite style dress right now that you're like just very much in love with?
Personally, I love an all lace wedding dress, long sleeve, high
Oh,
neck,
yes.
but that's
Mm,
just that's my personal preference.
I
Grace
have been
Kelly,
seeing.
that is like one of the most inspirational dresses of all time, and I love her wedding dress. So I would say something like that.
I have been seeing a lot more of those recently, especially for like the fall winter weddings. I follow some amazing wedding photographers in Chicago, and they do a
Hmm.
lot of winter weddings there. And the like the huge chapel or cathedral weddings with the lace sleeves and the high neck, and then like a nice updo or ponytail with a cathedral like veil. Oh, it's so pretty.
I am one for a cathedral length veil, I will say.
Yes, they are. I love them so much. They're so fun to photograph. It's just like it's a fun piece to have on your wedding day to make you feel like, like a princess or like the
Yeah,
bride
because
of
I
the
mean,
day.
also when are you ever going to wear a cathedral length veil again? It's
Literally
definitely
only your wedding
yeah.
day. Yes. Yes. I if so I'm actually getting married this spring, which is really exciting.
That's so
Um
exciting.
yeah, it's like 2.5 months. Crazy. But I would totally do a cathedral length veil if we weren't getting married outside. But there's like a lot of grass involved and the ceremony's outdoors, and I'm like, I don't want it like tugging on my hair. So I got my veil. I can't say too much about it because my fiance's in the other room and I'm not
Yeah.
allowed to like say anything. But I went as long as I could without it being cathedral length to like, catch on the grass
Make
and
it.
stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
But I
Okay.
do love a nice long veil.
Well, I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to share everything. It is really cool to like get married after being in the industry a little bit.
I was about to say, I'm sure you know did you know like exactly what you wanted to do?
For the most part, yes. Hiring vendors was the easiest part because I know so many from working in the industry. So I basically just had a list of all of my friends for each like niche in the industry. And I just started going down the list. And whoever was available was my vendor. And I was like, great, amazing. I could get to work with my friends. Um, the hardest part was choosing a venue. That was definitely the
Mm,
hardest part, which is for like any couple because it determines the location and the date and the guest count and like all of these factors. So
yeah.
that was
That makes
tough, but
sense.
we're very happy with our decision. So I'm very excited to get married, and
Yay.
become a bride.
I know. I like can't even imagine like it's I'm sure being in the industry and then also getting married too. One
I'm
day.
yeah, I'm excited to be on the other side and like
Yeah.
be able to understand what my couples are going through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a really cool part. But enough about me. I want to talk a little bit more about wedding dresses before we go today. So I'm curious, is there like, I think we talked about a lot of frequently asked questions you get from brides, like, oh, can we do anything else with this extra fabric? Of course, the answer is yes. Is there anything that brides are like so surprised that you are able to do?
I would say resizing. So, a lot of brides, well, first, I always say about 80% of brides that come to me need the dress resized, and usually it's too small. So depending on exactly what they want to do for the redesign, I have different techniques as far as like how to do the resize. As long as I know the prioritization of if it's the integrity of the bodice or I want the sleeves to look like this, then I know how to go about resizing it. But yeah, I would say that's pretty popular question I get that a lot of brides don't realize that I can do.
That is a great thing to know because I also didn't know that was possible. So that's awesome. That's really cool. Um, is what I want to know. You see like the reactions from the brides and sometimes their moms and their grandmas with the final product. Like how does that make you feel to see like all of that joy just like over something that you designed out of their heirloom dress?
I will say it like really makes me know like this is exactly what I should be doing because it also is just it's we're redesigning the dress, but like also it's the memories behind the dress that we are also carrying and being able to give these memories a lasting memory for their lifetime. So it is so special and makes me my heart melt every time I see the reactions. I tell brides that are thinking about surprising their mom, if you are, definitely should because the mom's reactions are just priceless because they just like can't believe it. Like, "Oh my gosh, like I can't that's my dress." Obviously, they always ask them beforehand permission, like, "Can I do something with your dress?" And they're like, "Yeah." Half the time, they're very much just like, yeah, I've kept it for 30 years. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I kept it for you. So, yeah, it's really cool to see the reactions.
That's amazing. Well, is there something you would say to a bride who's like on the fence, like, I'm thinking about doing something with this dress, but I don't know what I would do. I don't know if I should. Like, what would you say to somebody who's like, maybe?
I would say your wedding is the perfect time to utilize your heirloom dress because it also brings back so many memories with your parents, your grandparents, whoever that also wore the dress and that time in their lives. So when you're getting married as well, it's very much just like bringing back up like all of those like wonderful memories that they have and get to also carry forward. So I would say if you're on the fence, it's definitely something special that you can add to your wedding that you'll always remember.
Yeah, it's like you're breathing new life into like an old memory that has a lot of like fond feelings around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's amazing. And it's also like we didn't even talk about this. It's like so environmentally friendly to be
Oh,
reusing fabric.
yeah. Well, and a lot of the times too, the dresses are coming with me with authentic French lace. So it's like very nice material that you don't even realize how expensive that lace costs to if you were to buy it new.
Yeah, so like these heirloom dresses, I guess what I'm trying to say is like has the value for the materials that these dresses are made out of gone like way up since they were made?
I would say, I mean, some of them, it very much, I feel like, depends on brand too, if brides care about that. But yeah, the vintage market for wedding dresses is definitely gone up, I would say. Because also brides like want something unique and one of a kind. And if you want that, like vintage is the route to go for sure.
Very cool. I just thought about that. I was like, huh, knowing that it's like some dresses have authentic French lace and like all these high quality materials. I'm like, that's really interesting. Because the wedding dress market is so huge right now. You could
Oh
go
yeah.
super low end, super high, and anywhere in between. Still have a
You
gorgeous
really,
look.
yeah, like you really don't realize how many wedding dress designers there are until you get into the industry and you're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Yeah.
It's insane. I mean, I've been photographing weddings since 2020, and I don't believe I've ever seen two brides in the exact same dress.
Yeah.
They've
Wow.
all been there's similar styles, but I
And
don't think
not
I've
the
seen
same one. Yeah.
the same one. Yeah, which is really cool. Like a wedding dress really is your own.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, uh wrapping up, what is your biggest tip for brides going into their wedding day?
I would say, I mean, I'd have to go off the heirloom wedding dresses, but if you have your, this is a great time to at least like ask your family if you do have any heirloom dresses and if you want to utilize them. And at the very least, like you at least get to share this memory with your family and get to really be like nostalgic about the ideas of, like what these dresses and the memories they made when they wore them. So it is like such a special time. Like my mom and my aunt actually wore the same wedding dress. And so when my cousin was getting married 2 years ago, we had this like very special moment of us all like trying it on and unboxing it. And it was really fun. Like I still remember that day. And it was special to me as well. So
That's amazing. I love that so much. Like, it's such a special season getting married. And so why not do something special to honor the people around you and then like add just even more amazing like feelings and memories to the already wonderful day.
yes, exactly.
Amazing. And then I have one more question that I've started asking all the vendors who come on the podcast. And I'm curious to see if you have an answer for this since you're not present on wedding days, but you're still in, an industry that can be high stress. Do you have any recurring wedding stress dreams?
No.
Amazing.
What do you mean? Like,
Okay, so my recurring wedding stress dream is that I am in the middle of photographing a wedding and then I like leave to do something like get ice cream and then I forget that I'm photographing a wedding and then I like miss the rest of the day.
oh, okay. I'm understanding where you're going with this now. I would say, yeah, definitely something where just a dress like falls apart on a human.
Oh no, just completely
Even though
comes
I
undone.
know, like, it's all sewn together, but it's just like fully just disintegrates or something. It's crazy.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much not possible.
Yeah.
The best kind of stress dream to have is the one that's not possible in real life.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's so funny. Well, Lovell, it was so nice having you on the show. I absolutely love talking to you and learning all about heirloom dresses and the amazing things you can do with them, whether it's like preserving them, redesigning them, completely taking them apart and building them back up into something brand new, making accessories. There's so many cool things you can do, and it was so nice to hear all of that and all of the opportunities that brides have to make new memories out of something that holds a lot of old memories in it.
Yes, well, thank you so much, Gabriella. I had such a great time chatting with you today.
Same, and I hope we get to work together again soon.
Yes! Me too.